Hello, 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 everybody. It's Emily, and today I want to share a little bit about our expansion story and the way that I always say we didn't go viral in online, we went viral in real life. And so I love to tell a little bit about the story because it really was such a crazy, unexpected, wild ride, and it really set the tone and the kind of cadence for or the foundation of our whole community. So I think I talked about this before. Became incorporated as a public benefit corporation in April of 2023, the end of April of 2023. And we were doing some pop-up events, and it was just taking a really long time to set up and tear down. And so it was like, okay, we're going to give a go, we're going to give this a go. We need to really test this out and see if the vision that I have for this being a store that really isn't a store, it's a community, could work. And so we decided that we were going to rent some space, and we had no business doing that. I'll say that, right? It was one of those, like, you heard the old, I think it was, Disney, who said, build it and they will come. And it was like one of those kind of moments, right? Where it was like, let's just throw some shit against the wall and see what sticks. And so we end up renting this little space. The space that I'm sitting in right now, right, was our very first, about 1,500, little over 1,500 square feet. I I bootstrapped this whole thing from the get go. And so it was like, okay, let's rent this space. Let's see what can happen. And right before we moved all the things into this space, and we were doing these pop up events, I ended up applying to get on this. They call it a reality TV show. It's called The Blocks. Um, and I got on it, and it's the largest. They call it the largest. Let's see, what do they call? They call it the largest reality TV show for startup businesses in the world. And so I got on the show. We filmed in June of 2023. I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we moved all of our stuff from our little storage space where we were doing our pop up events. We moved all of that stuff from on May 31st and into this space. And on June 10th, I went to our I moved all of that stuff. We moved all of that stuff from our little pop-up space into the space we rented. And on June 10th, I flew to Tulsa to do the filming for season 10 of The Blocks. I was there for about 5, 6 days, and it was such a cool experience because I was able to practice saying this thing that we were doing that really had not been, we hadn't tested it at all, with a lot of other entrepreneurs who really just like the community there of people that really just wanted to see you succeed and wanted to see you win was really amazing. And so I got to, every day it was like a pitch competition. So every day I was sharing and sharing and sharing and sharing over and 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 over again, fucking up all the words and the language over and over and over and over again. And it was so uncomfortable, but the thing that was so great about that experience was that it helped me to get really clear on how do we share this really weird, unique, creative, cool business that we're testing now, right, as a startup. And there was a lot of validation in, like, oh, this sounds like it's a cool thing and you have a lot of work to do. So from a very early stage, we were able to get some good feedback. We were able to, like, if I had had to do that with our members, it would have taken forever, right? So I feel like that was a really instrumental piece in what helped me as an entrepreneur and a founder get really clear on the messaging that we needed in order to get people to say, like, okay, yeah, I'll give this a try. Like, it sounds really cool. So I came back from that event and we started to open and have regular hours. There were no racks. Like there was really very little in here at all. My sister had some she owns a business. I think I'd said this, in the pet industry, and she had bought, like, 10 years before, she had bought some display pieces to display, like, dog toys and dog food and, that kind of thing. And so we had some hodgepodge pieces of that. And my co-founder at the time, while I was gone, had set up all the things in the store to, like, those little pieces, and a few of the racks that we had gotten donated to us by people that were like, yes, this is a great idea, we want to see this win. And then just table, like, we just had a big table in the middle, or some other little folding tables, and, like, it was like, okay, let's just give this a shot. And so we went from like 34 members in June of 2023 to, by the end of December of 2023, we had about 687 members. It was wild what happened. And now looking back on that and seeing, who came and why they came and how we have, continued to grow and stabilize. We spent the last 2 years testing the the operational side of things, what works, what doesn't work, and learning that a big part of how we grow so quickly in a community is through network clusters. And these women who, like, we have entire office buildings of women that are members here. We have entire communities, like church communities, yoga communities, family friend groups, that really, like, women love to be able to support each other. And we love being a part of something that is, not only serving us, but serving each other, and then serving, for us, it's the planet, right? It's a gifting economy, right? They get to take the things that they're no longer wearing and put those things into a space where they know somebody else is going to benefit from them, even if they can't anymore. So, but they're also not losing the value that comes with that. They can find other things too. So it's just this really, really cool and interesting model. And it wasn't something that I could have sat down and, like, sketched on a napkin and said, like, let's do this. It was just one of those things where I just had to really, like, you know, I'm grateful that I've worked on myself as much as I have, because I was able to, like, quiet my mind, listen to the intuition, say yes. I'm pretty risk tolerant. So say yes to the things that I had no idea. Like, I have no idea how this is going to work. And, like, okay, yes. And that's not everybody's process, and that's okay. But experientially is one of the best ways that I learn and then iterate. And we have had lots of, like, okay, yes, that's not going to work, and okay, now this is going to work, and oh, that doesn't work, and this works. And it's been a really, really fascinating and wild process. And seeing what it's like to go into other markets and talk about what this could look like in their community shows me that this is where we're headed, right? This is the next evolution of retail. I hate to even call it retail because it's so not retail. We are a community of women who really support each other and who believe in what it is that we're doing and that there's a better way. And so, um, yeah, I am very proud of all the work that we have done, the things that have gone into getting to this point. And just that that first 6 months was crazy, wild ride. And I'm here to tell the story about it.